Welcome to the bold analysis. Let me start by making a clarification. Raila flew to Northland's farm that was invaded yesterday, and I saw some people saying, I think that was in Twitter, that he went to Uhuru's place without going to Kibera. I need to make that clarification. That today in the morning, Raila met the Nubian community around the DC in Kibera. That was the first meeting. After that, he visited, he was also met a section of leaders from Kibera, then went directly to Uhuru's farm. They gave that press briefing, then flew to Uhuru's farm. Imagine he has not visited his place, Spectra International. So sometimes that's the meaning of being selfless. Immediately, the Azimio leaders slammed international community, the Friends of Kenya, over their revealing silence as Kenya goes through the mayhem. We have seen different two bodies then coming to react. America is reacting, and African Union also reacted. I was just looking at what the Americas said. US on Raila demos. Rights to freedom of expression and association are core tenets of democracy, and they are calling on those who are banning mass action, probably. Then, we regret the loss of life in the recent protests in Kenya. There are people who have lost lives. Of course, I know the human rights bodies are working on that statistics. Kenya benefits from having an active and vibrant civil society. Remember, the civil societies have also been putting up their voices over this. In terms, the discussion is about democracy. Number 4, opposition leaders and protesters to refrain from violence, but not to, I don't know whether opposition leaders are becoming violent, I don't know. And the last one is government security forces to act with restraint. Those are the 5 those are the 5 demands that America, the US State Department principal deputy spokesperson Vedant Patel has issued this evening. And he's saying that Kenyans have rights to freedom of expression and associations are core tenets of democracy. In the protests, 1 person was shot dead in Kisumu and 2 are injured in Migori. That is Monday protest. The fact that we are saying 1 person does not make it look better. There's nothing to celebrate about it. Then after that, on in African, the chairperson of the African Union, Mohamed Faki, also reacted. Remember, he worked with Raila Odinga when Raila Odinga was Kenyan's special infrastructure envoy at the African Union. He's also called on talks, or rather dialogue, between Raila and Ruto for the ceasefire, saying that Nairobi needs to cool down, and he's calling for calm in Nairobi. According to him, he's adding his voice in that which has also been called by the clergy, that we need to have a ceasefire and embrace dialogue. This is coming, ladies and gentlemen, and I want us to look at these reactions politically. What exactly is within the political lines? Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and like our video. I want to just ask you a question especially for those who are in the country. How is the situation around you? What are people around you? What do you think are some of the worries of the people around you? Is it about their jobs? The fact that maybe people cannot get a job? Is it about the cost of living, that of course things are getting wary? Are people also feeling threatened? What is the mood? Are they feeling like which direction the country is going through? Or even you yourself, where do you think, what is your understanding? on a position on the direction the country is going on. I want us to look at this paradox. President William Ruto is in Berlin, Germany, and is inviting investors to come back and invest in the country. Now, ironically, I have seen critics saying that that is a very interesting paradox, because back in the country, goons are destroying other people's businesses. I don't know whether they are businesses or properties. I don't know if there is a difference between property and business. Spectra is someone's business. Even that farmland, I think, is a property that belongs to someone. So it is something. And we are in a world of internet. Even the international media were in this country. So they are also collecting. They are collecting a lot. Not everything is being reported, but there is a lot that is being collected. Climate change mitigation. While climate change mitigation talks at the global stage is coming amidst a very wrong image of what is seen as goons cutting down trees in a public, in a private farm. Of course, cutting down trees, and by the way, lakini watu wanabebanga ujinga sana. Let me just make this. I was following what happened. Kwani watu walienda and they were told to erect some mabati structures that they are given land. Kenya tuko na shida sana. It's not even a laughing matter. People were carried to go there, and they were even in a position to build mabati structures in that land. Today I was seeing videos of the staff that works there trying to demolish those mabati structures. Then I wonder, today the police are saying they acted swiftly to even avert more crime there. I've also confirmed that the Kiambu County government sent their fire extinguishers to put off the fire. And I'm wondering, if police acted swiftly, people could be there as mpaka wajenge mabati structures. Something is not really right there. I think earlier we pursue ceasefire, the better. I am one person that do not appreciate the discussions on hardliners. I think there is nothing like hardliners. These are just people that are just serving their self-interest, selfish interest, and just massaging their ego. The word hardliners, to me, I don't think it's within my vocabulary. I don't say it. However, the international community are saying that Ruto and Raila must call the country to order. The responsibility lies with Ruto. However, we've seen those around the president saying they don't want anything to do with Raila. They don't want anything to do with the dialogue, and they don't want anything to do with the ceasefire. According to them, a ceasefire will be to reward Raila Odinga for causing the demos in the country. That's that's the premise that has been made. So I don't know. We've seen the clergy tried it, Catholic clergy tried it, and they were really trashed and called out by those around William Ruto. Now the international community is calling on it. I don't know whether they'll be trashed in the equal measure, but I don't know. The church came, but it did not come with clean hands. Before they were calling for handshake, they were calling for demonstrations to stop. I don't know if you were supposed to create. I don't know if that was the ground, and I think the Azimio wing were a bit uncomfortable with that. Now, the international community coming in will actually crack the headline stance and try to give it a neutral approach. That is the only team that can crack these headliners, because the Kenyan economy is pegged on the international community. If we can't listen to them, but remember we have exports and imports that really is the cornerstone of our economy. So to me, I think they come in to crack the headline stance. Number two, they validate the concerns of Kenya that things are not just right, the magnitude of concerns. They validate calls. What most of us political pundits have been insisting is that let us not bury our head in the sand. We have a history. We've gone through this some time back. We learned our lessons. The lessons are kept clean in the shelves of different respective government bodies. We know where we are and we know the risk ahead. That is what I think that has been the general voice of political pundits and even the media and the civil society organizations and the Friends of Kenya. So with the international community coming and adding to that voice, I look at it as a very good addition to the fact that the concern is here. It is not normal that people are fighting. It is not normal that a mosque and a church went down, or rather were raised down in Kibera. It is not normal. 3. If there is something that I think we, and even us, people in the media space and concerned bodies, and even civil society, have not paid attention to, is the violation of fundamental human rights. I'm talking about the right to life. I think the right to property has been owned, has come out, but that was just yesterday. It became up loud because, again, it was Uhuru Kenyatta. If it was someone else, I don't think it would have got that much of attention. But there is that right to life. People have lost lives. There's a gentleman who was shot in Maseno. Another one died yesterday. And those are the ones we've counted. I don't know which other areas. I know which ones then we've not yet counted. So when the international community comes in, I think they bring in the question of protection or rather violation of fundamental human rights. Ruto leaving the country amidst this demo was even worrying to the investors. I want to say, because I don't think there is an investor that wants to put in money, his or her money, in a chaotic environment. So that is one thing that might have triggered that reaction, that now that president is away, how could he leave the country if the country is unstable? Or rather, is it really true the country is stable? No, the country is unstable. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is my position on reaction by America and the African Union.